Hey, Danny OGT here. Just letting you know that this is more of a documentary slash reaction. So the music reaction starts at right around 13 minutes. The rest of it has to do with the documentaries we watched on the Satanic Panic and how the song Black Sabbath had to do with those. So you can skip the 13 minutes or you can join in the conversation. Down below, of course. Thank you. Mental health is real. All right. So, my partner can hear me now. Can't see me yet. We have new tech, and we're trying to make it work. And OGO, I did make a. If you watch, OGO's been under the weather. So, if you did watch the Epica reaction, you see me tell the little thing about there was a certain Australian comment that said, thought we were talking about the tech, the quality of the videos that are being requested, and that's what they thought we were talking about. We talk about the tech wasn't good, or no. We've always been talking about the programs in which we use, and our tech has not caught up with these wonderful videos that everybody.
The videos you guys give us to react to tend to be very, very good. It's our tech, it's our presentation that we're coming down on.
Absolutely. So, me and OGL have had a thing where we talk about. We talk about the seeing the light in the dark and a lot of these concepts and the evil imagery or dark imagery or satanic imagery that's been associated with rock and roll. And we watched a few documentaries on the Satanic Panic and all the innocent people that caused to either be demonized or killed or imprisoned or just for everyone to come back later and denounce these claims. The daycare, I forget what it's called. Anyways, we wait till we see really good. And OGL, if you'll write something down for us to include that Satanic Panic documentary in the description here.
Yeah, we'll leave a link.
I will definitely forget it. Just possibly in case we don't, it is called The History of the Satanic Panic and the History of Metal Music. Well, if you've got this, yeah. So right here it is.
Hey y'all, welcome.
So it is. I am subscribed. It says that to any video. But IMAKAIYA. I'm not going to try to say that. Wordsmith, have a go at it.
How's it spelled again?
You can't see it on TV. Just put your cursor on her picture.
Cursor's on the picture.
Maybe she says her name. Hold on.
Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kaya, and today we are...
Okay. Oh, that's silent. It's Kaya. So this
is probably short for something. Kaya's probably short for the full thing. She probably realizes it's hard to pronounce.
I'm Kaya. Duh. See?
Or that.
I'm a Kaya. Hey. So anyway, yes, this is an absolutely wonderful documentary on it, the best I've ever seen, and I've watched quite a few as I was trying to develop my wings of darkness. No, I'm just kidding. It was insane how this. It was the longest court case in United States history was about this.
Without a conviction.
Without a conviction whatsoever. $7 million in 7 years spent on it, or maybe way more money than that. 7 years spent on it. Lots of detective work. I'm not saying there's never been anything satanic going on, but all this talk of everyone, killing animals in the woods and such. Anyway, it was BS.
Hey y'all, welcome.
They had no evidence whatsoever, and there never has been any to come of it. So rock and roll has used the devil's imagery because of the Satanic Panic, because it sold. The same reason the news put on episodes like Geraldo with no evidence whatsoever condemning people and their beliefs when they weren't even there. So, yeah, it's just sex, drugs, and rock and roll have always been a bad thing, and lawyers and cops and doctors have always been a good thing. And while some of this is true, do not read a book by its cover. Some of the biggest criminals in the world are doctors, lawyers, and cops. Also, some of the best people, and that goes for sex, drugs, and rock and roll as well.
Like a lot of people, when they think of the Satanic Panic, they know the more famous aspects: the Judas Priest trial, the creation of the PMRC, the D. Snyder essentially annihilating Congress and court,
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, she touches on those things, but she also goes back several decades to several cultural phenomena that you may not think are connected, but actually do play a part. It's just a very well researched, well presented documentary. Just in general, the dark images and the general attitude of rock and roll has always been one of youthful rebellion. If you think about it, most
anti-war, a lot of it was anti-war.
Most metal and most rock and roll isn't telling people to join any group. In fact, if anything, it's telling them to be an individual, to think for themselves. Yeah, so and it's the large cult-like group that wants everyone to be a part of their cult that is lashing out at them. But yeah, people don't realize how seriously people who should have known better took this. I'm talking about, parents. I'm talking about law enforcement, lawyers. Now, lawyers you can understand, they'll do anything to get a buck. I understand that the sensationalism will creep in there.
Well, lawyers are in court. A court is something you play a game on, where you pass the ball back and forth, and these opposite teams are all going for the same goal, which is kind of what court is.
But law enforcement office, enforcing the law, that should be about actual evidence and what can be deduced and produced, not just fanatical ravings or just things coaxed. Like the amount of children that were probably traumatized just in the name of trying to cobble together some sort of bullshit narrative about ritualistic abuse. Yeah, but all in all, most people get into things like metal and rock because they're cool. Especially when you're young, you're rebellious, you have all this energy, you have all this, sort of pent up aggression, and rock and roll speaks to that. It's a natural part of our growth and our upbringing. And it's that energy that helps us get some shit done. So, and of course, the people that denounce that want people that are easier to control.
Yeah, cowboys, and they kind of live by their own code and rules, and they were weeded out, and then comes the structure and the government and the systems of the big four. I call them the pharmaceutical, the educational, the religious, and the political. So those are the four horsemen of the apocalypse, if you ask me. And I think Revelation is all those coming down, and the walls falling in, and a true reset and a true new world order, which is the opposite of what it supposedly means. And the woke movement, which I have no idea what these political is calling it, but just people being awake. Wake up and remember what we were and what we came from.
It's not sleepwalking through life.
Yeah, this is most rock and roll songs have a beautiful message, very, very beautiful message to go along with all this dark imagery. But we were going to focus on this, and sorry this has been a long intro, but
it's relevant.
Yeah, because it'd be hard for any of you to believe that we've never really heard the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, but it was hard for me to believe because I was in a convenience store yesterday morning, and the song come on, and I heard oh God, where he screams, and I've heard the riff, but I really don't know the damn words, and talking about something like dark figure or something, so I stopped it because I'm like, man, we should practice this sometime. And that's all I've thought about it since then, until we just watched the Satanic Panic. And I asked him, OGL, and he's like, I've never really heard the song either. I've only heard it covered a few times by, who'd you say, OGL?
The one I remember is Iced Earth. Did a really good job of it. But yeah, I just remember it being very dark and very creepy. Never heard the original version. Black Sabbath is, one could argue, but I think it's fairly safe to say that Led Zeppelin's first and second albums kind of were the first examples of what could be considered heavy metal. But it was this first Black Sabbath album that kind of set the template in stone, or in iron, if you will. And the like a lot of the lyrical imagery, the vocal stylings, the musical motifs still crop up in today's metal all the time. So it's a very influential album, very influential band. Yeah, this is a classic track.
I like to say that Hank Williams created the genre. Elvis Presley created rock, and the Beatles is what really took rock to what it would be. And then Led Zeppelin created metal, and Black Sabbath right behind them created heavy metal. that's my little way I judge it. And Pink Floyd created psychedelic rock, or progressive rock, if you will. And the all the other genres fall in behind that. So
all 427 billion of them.
Wow, my goodness. So, I have it narrowed down to about 100, which are my favorite. When I was growing up in the 1900s, and I grew up in the Satanic Panic, by the way, I didn't really realize that, in the Bible Belt region of the United States. So I got it whipped into me hard. So don't go that road hard and put up with it and whatever. But so I have no problem with anyone, to each their own. It's when people try to label me that I have a problem with it, or when I try to glorify the same thing someone else is, and my experience is not real and theirs is, I have a problem with that. So I try to steer clear of those type conversations. You know me, I talk about what's hard to talk about, but I don't like talking about a one-sided conversation. So it does have to be a conversation. So let's do it, man. Black Sabbath. Let's also take a note and tell them if you want to skip our rhetoric, which I may put this at the end. I'm not sure yet. You'll see when it comes out.
If it's at the end, that's cool. It's at the end. If it's in the beginning, we'll try to put a little timestamp where you can skip past the intro.
Yeah, so it's 12 minutes. So at the 13-minute mark, guys, is when the song is going to start.
We do ramble a bit.
Oh, the Lord. Ramble on like Zeppelin. Yeah, so basically the 13-minute mark. Let's back this up just a hair, and let's experience Black Sabbath.
By Black Sabbath.
Sabbath. Let's do it. So that's the infamous album cover. This is a fan-made video with lyrics. We did not choose the official video because, well, I wanted to get into the lyrics of the song. We will watch the video definitely at some point before this is over and speak on the visuals of the video as well.
And to be frank, we're pretty sure we get nailed with a copyright strike if we did the video. So
I mean, pretty damn sure, yeah.
Yeah.
of space here and the ominous. We may get copyrighted for that, so I mean, I may black out all this. Okay, you may just see the lyrics I'll put there my damn self. Yeah, I don't even like that being there, so it's just a picture of Ozzy. But the use of space and the use of silence and nature is 121. There you go. Their numbers. OGL or Ogle. My phone called you earlier.
Yeah.
He's calling on phone. Ogle is calling. Anyway, so the Lord of Darkness, Ozzy, of course, one of the most funniest men and humble guys I've ever not met, but we all feel like we've met him. He's on every show there is. And I think I have definitely heard all of that part of the song many times, as maybe OGL has too. I just want to clarify that. It's really after this that I really have got lost in, after he screams, I don't know why, but for one reason or another it gets turned off or lost interest. Not sure why, but maybe we'll figure it out now.
So that's it. The use of space, like you said, I definitely agree. I love the intro with the wind and then the tolling bell. That opening riff, the trill on there, that's an Iommi staple. Him and his metal fingertips. Yeah, it already sounds very ominous. So if you think about hearing things like the Beatles or whatever, and then something like this comes in with a riff like that, yeah, it's going to shake your foundation a bit. And I love the pictures of Ozzy. I like how he was able to craft not just a vocal identity, but like a persona, like a face that you could put to the music of Black Sabbath. That also drew some ire as well. Some people said he appeared possessed. There was that whole thing about him trying to bite a bat on stage. But again, that's metal has always been kind of had that shock value. So, and Ozzy always
Ozzy did bite a bat, but he hated it. He had to go get a damn tetanus shot and everything.
Yeah,
he thought the bat was rubber. He
Yeah,
didn't know it was a real bat. It was a real
Yeah, the
bat.
bat bit him as well. Yeah. So, but yeah, like Ozzy is, he's a great showman, but he's like Danny said, he's a very funny, humble guy. His health has taken a turn for the worse as of late, guys. So, our hearts go out to him. He still wants to perform, and I wish he wouldn't just do like maybe special shows here and there. He's given the music world more than enough, like 5 decades of great music. So yeah, Ozzy,
and entertainment.
yes,
He has been a staple on television as well.
Yeah. So Ozzy, thank you so much, but please enjoy your retirement. Enjoy what quality of life you have now. You don't owe us anything.
And
Alrighty.
as far as like trademark anything, he has the most iconic laugh of anyone I've ever done.
Yes,
Not
he
just
does.
laugh.
Yes.
You could put any kind of sound that comes from a person's body, iconic farts, if you will, whatever. But that damn laugh is just, and he can still do it. I watched recent shows he's been on with his son Jack, paranormal shows, and I can't even do it. Beginner
Even
crazy. Train.
even like vocally, like his voice didn't go as high as it used to, but even like the last thing he did with Jeff Beck, Patient Number 9, like his voice pretty much, he still sounds like Ozzy. It's an iconic sound, and it's one he's been able to maintain over decades. So, yeah, Ozzy is a legend. And the
Not
truest sense of the
familiar.
word.
Maybe I could react to that. Mm-hmm.
That would be a good idea. And
Let's get back to it.
hell yeah. That stark contrast. Drum with the part.
Harold, go board the damn doors shut and lock the damn windows and put the blinds down. Oh, help me, Jesus. What the hell is this we're hearing on the radio? What is this man? He eats bats and casts people to hell. Anyway, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. I'm just saying, yeah, that would have scared me too. That scares me a little bit right now. But I can put another spin on this. That dark figure doesn't have to be the devil. That could very well be the Grim Reaper. What is this dark figure that stands before me? Saying that you could be the chosen one. I wanted to turn and run, or however it was worded. Death staring you in the mirror every day. You're getting older and older, the Grim Reaper, which is definitely older than metal music. So, I mean, I could just, that, again, music's up for interpretation, and I see that being the Grim Reaper, more than the devil, if I had to interpret it myself.
It could be, I mean, it could be any kind of bearer of arcane knowledge as well. You know, the unknown is feared. Again, Ozzy's voice came in there. Again, it got a bit more polished. At least he learned how to sing in, he developed a pocket to sing in over time. His voice sounds a bit wilder here. It's not a polished sound at all, but I think Elizabeth from the Charismatic Voice put it best. That is a voice that can deliver a message, no doubt. And again, just the stark contrast between this and like a lot of music that was being played around that time. It's immense, but it's compelling. You know, it makes me wonder where it came from, where it's going. You know, this is music that comes from a different space than what was common at the time, and that just sort of draws me in.
And he's got his Hellfire shirt on. I've got my Spoiled by Metal shirt on. So
Yeah.
that fits right in. Well, I didn't do that on purpose. I don't do that shit I do on purpose.
So I do want to bring one thing up. We've talked about genres. There is a genre of metal that's called doom metal, and that's pretty much this unchanged, excuse me. It is basically, it's complete and utter Sabbath worship. Like, a lot of it's pretty cool because this hasn't aged at all. I mean, the recording technique has. I think the organic sound of this time actually makes this a little bit creepier. But yeah, what they're doing musically, it's timeless.
I know the Devil's Trill was played a lot in the blues, Robert Johnson, of course, but if I'm not mistaken, that may be the first time it was ever used within rock and roll music, this song.
It's very
That's
possible.
it in a nutshell. There's nothing else to it. That is the Devil's Trill. Those three.
The tritone, yeah.
Yeah. I want to hear the scream one more time.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
after this, kind of, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know really how the song even ends. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's see what dark pathways it takes us down.
I mean, let's kick the tires and light the fires, boys.
Oh no!
lot of imagery from the band. I'm definitely going to do over this imagery. It's just a skull with the goat horns and the pentagram. Actually, that's not even the pentagram. That's the Jewish star, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm telling you. This is not going to put this on there. I will put the lyrics myself in this video. But thank you, whoever the hell you are, for giving us this sound. So
And there are some cool images on here. Some of the
there are, but I don't want this to be associated with what, like. Yeah, because there's like a ghost. I do like the imagery. I mean, I might show them a piece of it, but I noticed that something I just noticed. The Satanic Panic was essentially caused by Bible Belt Christians. And while I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, I'm just pointing something out here. Communication is key, right? So, the words here. Big black shape with eyes of fire. What was it?
Telling people their desire.
Telling people their desires. Now, could this not be? And everything's a black robe, right? A court. I know that the Pope is with a white robe, but there are preachers who preach in black robes, or am I wrong?
No, I think so. I think there are.
I'm just saying this could be anything from the Grim Reaper to some religious institutions tell you your desires and what you should desire and what you shouldn't. That's the whole premise of the church, is you do the right thing that is written. So big black shape with eyes of fire, which could be the proverbial devil that wants to burn you for all of your eternity, and the men telling you their desires. And the reason I come to this is not conclusion. It's just, first of all, telling people how to feel. Mm-hmm. Telling them their desire is one thing that I don't know of any other institution that does. And then, the proverbial Satan is sitting there laughing and smiling as the proverbial good guys are gathering the souls for the bad guy, or however you want to take it. It's just something that popped into my head there. I'm trying to come up with alternative meanings whose flames get higher and higher. Tool sings a lot about these institutions, and so I have that kind of looks like the guy from Opiate. But anyway, I'm reaching here, and this very well could just be the devil in imagery, but I know Ozzy was not a dumb guy. And what was the guitar player that wrote most of these lyrics?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the bassist wrote most of the lyrics. That's Geezer Butler.
Yeah, there you go. So, and Tony Iommi, or how much?
Iommi. Tony Iommi
also wrote lyrics. So.
Yeah, and the music.
And they wrote them around these stigmas and labels and institutions and the ideals and beliefs that you should do exactly as I tell you to do, blindly, whether you feel it's right or wrong in your heart. So in no way am I putting down any certain or Christians or anyone else. I'm just reacting to what I see here.
If I may, to me, the song, it feels and sounds very tortured, both musically and vocally. It seems to be about someone who is tormented by some kind of a vision. And first of all, Satan comes from, I think, is the Hebrew word for adversary. So something like, if you, for instance, as a lot of rock and rollers, a lot of heavy metal musicians came from very strict, religious households. So the idea of Satan simply representing the concept of rebellion, it could also be something there. It's not so much evil as much as it is rebelling against that which is oppressing you. And of course, any kind of oppressor is going to see any attempts at freedom as evil. But to me, it just seems like Ozzy is singing this tale about this man who's traumatized by a vision and talking about Satan and flames get higher and higher. This traumatizing vision could very well have been caused by listening to someone preaching at a church.
And as we know that almost every cult and terrible thing that's ever happened in America originates in L.A. or California. We just seen that in the Satanic Panic video. A lot of things I didn't realize. Anthony McVeigh and Charles Manson. All of this was that cult that killed everybody on the border of Mexico. It's all California, and that's crazy. You know, the Hollywood. You know, all this. What's going on today in Hollywood? You know, terrible pedophilia things, the powers that may be. You know, the influence on the actors and musicians, and how as Da Vinci had to write in mirror writing to hide from the same people. Actually, well, I don't know the same people. Okay, I had to hide from the church or the law at that time. With mirror writing and Michelangelo with different depictions and paintings, and because you would literally be, you know, your life would be taken from you if you did not. If you even spoke of these things, Aristotle was almost put to death for pointing out that we are not the center of the universe. Everything does not revolve around the world, but also just the fact that, as you said, this idea of one black mass, if you will, being the source of all bad things, it only comes from the Judeo-Christian religions. So I'm not pointing fingers. It's the Christian or Catholic, which is the same thing, and the Muslim and the Judas, the Jewish faith. All the other religions believe there are separate deities for everything. You have deities for water and wind and air and death and life, and so yeah, it would be a new concept for someone coming from where Black Sabbath comes from, which is where exactly are they from? I'm sorry,
they're from England.
Yeah,
they're
from
from
England, where there are no Judeo-Christian belief systems in England, or not at that time. So this would have been a new thing to them. This devil figure, of course, not really through books and such, but it wasn't a part of their original heritage where they grew up. So point of view is everything. I point that out a lot, that different points of view can come for different conclusions in different situations, or similar situations from different points of view. All right. The song is really good.
Yes.
It was more about breaking down this and comparing it to the Satanic Panic, which this is one of the songs that was blamed for it. So.
Yeah.
Satan sitting there, he's smiling. Watching those flames get higher and higher. Oh no, no, please God help me.
I remember this. Oh, and he's going to sing too? I don't remember none of this. I was going to say, maybe the reason why I'm not familiar is because it all sounded like that to the end. So, yeah, here we go, my friend. Buckle the hell up. Hell yeah.
Yeah, slow sort of plotting build up, then it kicks into high gear at the end. Like you still hear that dynamic today, and in a lot of metal. I also wanted to point out that you notice up until this point, every time Ozzy has sang, they've like pulled away almost all the instruments. Like the bass and the drums have been there, but they've been very sparse. The guitars, like maybe playing one note at a time. It's a very sparse soundscape for Ozzy to sing, which is good. It gives his voice space to spread out. It really highlights his tone, which is very unique. But it definitely seems like now, band's kicking into high gear and he's going right along with them.
And when I went to church, they played hymns in between the preacher preaching. I don't know, just saying.
Yeah.
And my friend, things come around the bend. People running 'cause they're scared. The people better go and beware. No, no, please, no.
Wow. I've never heard that part of that song. Never, ever, ever. Oh, my goodness.
There's some terrifying sounds there.
Yeah, I mean, and the song could just plainly be about reflection. Somebody, again, man, standing at the mirror and then looking at all these people that are scared of every little thing they do that's going to send them to hell. And I'm not even talking about religious people, just anyone that tries to hide from, anything bad happening, or to pray or go out of their way. 30,000 security systems, or 27 locks on the door. When somebody wants to get in, just throw a damn brick through your window and come in. Somebody wants to do that bad. All those locks on the door. I heard not an honest thief, but an honest to goodness, a real thief tell me, and I was hanging out with him. Yeah, I mean, it was a girl, but anyway, I got rid of her because she stole from me. But yeah, she said, I told her how my place lights come on every night, and in the front and back. You've seen OGL. They bug me because you never sit out and enjoy peace in the dark. And I was like, yeah, a lot of people don't mess this place anyway. It stays lit up all the time. The lights are only going to keep an honest crook away. So that hit me in a hard way. I don't remember how that related to this, but yeah, this was definitely needed, man. I mean, if we're gonna react to every kind of genre there is, I think not hearing this, we would have been incomplete, kind of like not hearing Hank Williams. So,
and honestly, I'm glad we did it because completionism notwithstanding, it's a badass song.
man, wow.
I was thinking the solo at the end. Tony's style is very blues based, and of course, the blues also kind of had that reputation. Some of these bluesmen had a reputation of being in league with the devil, like Robert Johnson, for instance. So that that link has always been there. It seems like rock inherited a lot of things from the blues. It seems like that relationship with the dark side of things, with the Dark Lord, was one of them, so to speak. I also like the fact that the chugga 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 riffing, like Tony is pretty much the godfather of that. Like that's his thing. Like those palm music, dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So that's If you've heard a metal song with that in it, thank you, Mr. Iommi. Very much appreciated. Um, going somewhere else with this. Bear with me. I know Black Sabbath was a movie starring Boris Karloff. That's where they got the name. It had nothing to do with the occult or anything. It's a movie
Nothing.
that they like. So this reminded me of Number of the Beast from Iron Maiden, because that was basically a song about a nightmare that Steve Harris had after watching, I don't remember what the hell it was, The Omen 2, I think. And being, of course, associated with all this Satan, I'm like, no, it's a movie that he saw. So sometimes this sort of dark imagery is just about telling a compelling story. But yeah, this Sabbath went. Sabbath has been around a long time. I think they reunited with Ozzy in the early 2010s. I think we were planning on doing God Isn't Dead, right? I think that was from that reunion.
Dead, I think it's the name of it.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, God Is Dead. Yeah, and then they of course they had that when Ozzy left, they brought in Ronnie James Dio, who had a completely different flavor to the band.
Comes from.
Oh yeah,
and then reactions.
That's actually another thing. It's cool to sort of revisit the roots of that. They also had a
Sabbath, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And then we definitely need to combine these at some point and do a Sabbath song with Dio. But they also had a period in the 80s that a lot of people don't like, but I happen to love, where they had Tony Martin as a singer and had sort of a more keyboard laden, less heavy, but still pretty badass sound. So yeah, Sabbath has done it all. And
also, Ozzy has went on to do actually better than Black Sabbath on his own.
Oh, most definitely.
With his singles career, with Crazy Train and the night song, oh hell.
Crazy Train, Steal Away the Night, Goodbye to Romance, then No More Tears. And
that's one thing about No More Tears, yeah.
Shot in the Dark, Ozzy.
Mom, I'm Coming Home, that's better.
Ozzy Star definitely
technically better than Black Sabbath's ever done without him.
Yeah, Ozzy Star definitely eclipsed that of his band, but
not putting down Black Sabbath. I love Dio. Dio's cool. I've not heard the Black Sabbath with the man you're referring to.
I'll play some at some point. It's completely different, but it's still pretty cool. But this was very interesting. Like I said, the sound of those heavy guitars, but the production from this era, just absolutely crushing. Like I said, especially towards the end. I don't know what was happening in the right ear while the solo was going on, but it was like a giant wall of sound.
The 44 minutes, or I'd go back. I mean, that was so good, man. Oh my God.
But
if you want to hear more of,
I can see why people were scared of this. I can also see why people were compelled by it. So
yeah. Well, even the girl doing the documentary said, "Well, the imagery and the album cover, it all scared the hell out of me, but the sound resonated with me, and I just couldn't put it down." So. Mm-hmm. Think mental health is real. I'll be a part of the start. We're in this at 4444. There you go. Peace out.
All y'all that stuck with us, thank you.
Son of a bitch, I missed the stop. So there went that. 46-2, damn it. Heavy metal has nothing to do with Satan. I don't even know what Satan is. I think it's that shit that makes pants. Oh, that's Satan. What's the difference? Peace out, everybody. Much love. Prosperity.
Take care of yourselves. We'll be seeing you around.
Mental health. It's real. And conspiracy theories are too. Who possessed JFK? Oh, never mind. That's wrong. I'm out of here.